All right, today we are doing a second review day of 4.1 to 4.3 to help you for your test tomorrow. This is asking us to check the equation, or solve the equation and then check it. In order to get this x by itself, I have to get rid of subtract by 7.6. What's the opposite?
Add by 7.6.
Add by 7.6. This cancels out. Then you see over here, same sign, add and keep, different sign, subtract and take. So I've got to subtract those. When you subtract, you always put the big one on top. 7.6 minus 4, you could say 0.0, okay? Remember, you're allowed to use your calculators, but what is this answer right here, guys? 3.6. So the answer is x equals 3.6. Now to check it, you're rewriting this original problem, but instead of the x, I'm going to put 3.6 minus 7.6 equals negative 4. Class, what is 3.6 minus 7.6? It is negative 4. Does negative 4 equal negative 4?
Yes.
Give yourself a mini check mark. All right, the variable is y on this problem. You have to get rid of divide by 5. How do I do that?
You multiply by 5.
Multiply by 5 on both sides. This cancels out. Y equals, guys, what is negative 7 times 5? Negative 35. So now we've got to plug that in. Negative 35 divided by 5 equals negative 7. So let's start on the left side. What is negative 35 divided by 5? Negative 7. Does negative 7 equal negative 7?
Yes.
Yes, so it did check out. For this one, it's a two-step equation, which just means you're doing it 2 times instead of 1 time. Remember, we will always add or subtract before we multiply or divide. Think about the 4C here. Best friends, they stay together as long as they can. So I'm going to get rid of plus 3, and I'm going to do minus 3. Just the girls. When you look over here on the right side, what's negative 9 minus 3?
Negative 12.
Okay, negative 12. Remember that because it's same sign, add the numbers, keep the sign. Okay? Boys, how do I get rid of this multiply by 4?
Divide by 4.
Divide by 4 on both sides. Class, what'd you get for your final answer?
C equals negative 3.
C equals negative 3. Everybody, identify the variable for me on this problem. Y. There are 2 things that are not allowing y to be alone. Help me out. What are they? Divide by 5 and subtract 4. Listen, remember the rule I taught you. If it is attached to the variable, you need to make sure you keep it the longest. All right, so how do I get rid of subtract by 4?
Add by 4.
Add by 4 to both sides. All right, check to see if you've got this work at your desk, okay? Now y divided by 5 equals 6. How do I get y by itself now, class?
Multiply by 5.
You multiply by 5 because we're trying to get rid of divide by 5. These cancel out. Y equals 30. Raise your hand if you got that correct. Good job. This has asked us to write the word sentence as an equation. What does sum mean, class? Add. So I'm going to put plus. Now remember, we talked about this before. There's going to be a number to the left of it and a number to the right of it. As I read on, it says the sum of number n. So n's going to go right here. And negative 3 is 15 or equals 15. Now, only because right here we have a plus minus, what I would prefer so I can still see we're adding a negative, just put parentheses around it to show me that that's a negative. Okay? Next up, a number divided by 6. Because this just says a number, you can use any variable that you want. I'm just going to use r. Whenever we do divided by, class, how do I want to see divided by?
Fraction bar.
A fraction bar. So r divided by 6 equals 10. For this next one, this says a number minus 4 is 30. What should I put for the number?
N.
Okay, he says n. Then we just see this says minus, so minus comes next. Then 4 is 30 equals 30. Does that make sense? You're just reading these problems from left to right and then making an equation out of them. For this problem, we have negative 9 minus 6. As you can see, same sign. Add the numbers, keep the sign. Negative 15 was the correct answer. All right, because on this one we have parentheses. Guys, what do the parentheses mean?
Multiply.
Multiply. And I'm multiplying two negative numbers, so the answer has to be?
Positive.
What's the answer?
72.
72 is correct. For this problem, there will be a problem exactly like this on your test tomorrow, okay? Just different times or degrees or whatever. The temperature at 6 a.m. is 31 degrees, so that's where we're starting. It's at 31 degrees. Now it says the temperature rises 5 degrees every hour. If it rises, class, what sign does that mean?
Addition.
Plus, we're adding because it's going to get bigger. So I'm going to go ahead and put a plus. Should I just write that it rises for 5? Should I just do plus 5?
5F.
Okay, 5 something. For me, I'm going to go ahead and put 5H because it's rising every hour, but you can choose anything, okay? So the first hour, it would be 5. The second hour, it would be 10. The third hour, it would be 15. So when we do 5H like this, that means 5 per hour. Now it says, at what time will the temperature be 56 degrees Fahrenheit? We want it to equal 56 degrees. Here where it says you must show an equation, I will be looking for that on your test tomorrow. This is showing me you understand how to write a two-step equation. Now you want to solve for h. Get rid of the 31 on both sides. 5h equals what, guys?
25.
25. Is h by itself? No. How do I get rid of multiply by 5? Divide by 5. Now listen, as I just walked around to a lot of your desks, this is what I saw. They see, yay, I got 5, and then you notice it says what time? So all you did was you said 5 a.m. That is not correct. Can somebody explain to me, what does this H stand for? Hours. How many hours it's been? So this right here tells us it took 5 hours. So it was 5 hours later.
We put 5 hours.
If we know that we started out at 6 a.m., what is 5 hours later than 6 a.m.?
11 p.m.
11 a.m. is the correct answer.
Oh, wow.
For the second modeling real life problem, you have $325 in your bank account. So we've got this to start with. How many of you would say you started your problem out and it looks like that? Now, you earned some money. What sign does it mean when I earn money, class? Plus. I'm going to add more money to this amount that we already talked about. Do I know how much money I earned?
Yes, 44.
I don't know how much money I earned. Because I don't know how much money I earned, I'm going to put a variable. So I'm going to add that amount of money. I just did M for money. You could put X or Y or whatever one you want. You earned that money by helping your neighbor, and you deposit that in your account. So we added it together. Then you decide to go out and buy a new outfit for $44. What should I do with that $44? Subtract it. As I looked around at your desks, a lot of you guys decided to multiply it. Guys, we don't want to multiply that money. We're taking it away. We're losing the $44 because we bought a new outfit with it. Now I have left $399. So the total amount that's left is $399. Now, let's look over here on the left side. Are there any like terms that I can combine, class?
325 and minus 4.
Let's combine our constants right here. Those are both monies. So you can see I've got an M. I'm just going to drop down the M. Can someone tell me what $325 minus $44 would be? What is it? $281 equals $399. How do I get M by itself?
Subtract by 280.
I got to get rid of that $281. When I subtract that, this cancels out, and M equals what, guys?
118.
$118 is our final answer. We're trying to explain if the equations are equivalent. What does equivalent mean?
Equal.
Equal, okay? So for this, we're going to get this. We're going to get this to stay together, but I'm going to get rid of everything else 2x equals 6. And now in order to get rid of multiply by 2, I am going to divide by 2. So the first problem, x equals 3. Now let's go to the next one. I need to get x by itself. I'm going to do that by subtracting 7 on both sides. This cancels out. Negative 12 equals negative 4x. Is everyone following so far? Okay. I saw a lot of you that had this work, but here I'm trying to get rid of a negative 4. How do I get rid of multiply by negative 4? Divide by a negative 4. So make sure you divide by the exact number. This cancels out, and x equals, now class, what is negative 12 divided by negative 4?
3.
2 negatives equals a positive. So class, are they equivalent?
Yes.
Yes, why?
Because they both equal x equals 3.
They both equal 3. All right, so that's how to tell if something is equivalent or not. All of these problems that we did today, there will be problems very similar to them on your test tomorrow. So please make sure you study 4.1 to 4.3.